Hi, I'm Brian from Protog, and today we're here to look at the new TR-Q7 multi-dedicated trigger from Jinbei, which has got some fantastic new features. Okay, so we'll start by talking about the unique features that the TR-Q7 introduced to the system. First of all, we'll start with the multi-dedicated foot. So this foot is dedicated to Canon, Nikon, Sony, Fuji, Olympus, and Panasonic. Okay, to turn the unit on, there's a button here that is the menu button and power button. We hold that down, and after a few seconds it boots up. I'll navigate around the trigger to show you what each button does. On the side you've got 3 buttons that correlate on the LCD screen to the channels. You've got 3 buttons across here that correlate to whatever is on the LCD at the time. So here we can change from Canon to Nikon to Sony, etc. Our channel control, our sync control. We've got a test fire button, we've got a menu and on-off button, and we've got the main control wheel, which is also a navigation and an entry through pushing it in. This new trigger has a lithium-ion battery built in, so no more AA batteries. You charge it by just plugging into the side port. Okay, so one of the most exciting features of the TR-Q7 is many photographers now have multiple systems. They may have a Canon or a Nikon or a Sony in a full frame 35mm type system, but they may have a medium format Fuji. So the advantage of this trigger is we need one trigger, multi-systems. We'll just put the Fuji aside. Today we're going to choose to shoot with the Canon and put the trigger onto the camera. Right. And we're going to go to the camera menu and just hit it until we see Canon show up here. Okay, so now that we've chosen Canon, on a Canon camera, we've got to look for this. When we've touched the shutter button, this LED at the top will turn green, which tells you that the trigger is syncing with the camera. When you fire it, it'll turn red. Okay, so let's go through the choices as we use our Jinbei TR-Q7 on our Canon 7D. We've chosen Canon through the camera menu. We need to choose channel. So by highlighting channel, we can use the thumb wheel to change it. So we'll end up on 1, we enter that, and then we need to choose the group. So we've got this on channel 1 and group A, so we just need A active. If I hit the button that corresponds with A on the side of the trigger, I can go off, it goes to sleep. I can go TTL, or I can hit it one more time and we're onto manual. By hitting it again, sleep, and we're back to TTL. Within TTL, we can increase or decrease the exposure up to 3 stops either way. That won't show on the head, but it will show on the trigger at the point of you controlling it. And you can see that we've got channel B and channel C turned off because we're only using one head. They can be turned on, but obviously they're not talking to a live head at the moment, so we'll leave them off. They're not relevant. On the side over here, we've got the sync. So at the moment, we're choosing front curtain sync, but if I hit the sync button, it's now rear curtain sync, or one more time, it's HSS. So within HSS, at the moment, I've got the camera on a 400th of a second. I can go up to 8,000th of a second. But if I go below the normal flash sync, which on a Canon is 200, the flash will actually automatically fire in non-HSS mode. If we want to use modeling, we've just got to have our A channel chosen, and we hit modeling on, modeling off, modeling on, modeling off, and audio on. So now when I take a shot, I'm not depleting it. So the reason you won't get a beep is we're not using enough power from the head. It's actually not depleting it. So let's put it onto manual, bump our power up. And beep on the recycle. Okay, if I hit the menu button, we'll go from the camera channel sync menu to a second menu that allows you to control the modeling light, an audible sound, And also there's a last menu option here, or screen option, that says M and a number. So what that actually does is fantastic. While I'm shooting TTL channel A into this head. I'll take a photo and it will tell me here within the TTL system what the actual exposure was. So it's telling me 1.5. So it's calculating that. We haven't set a shot up properly, but it's telling me that that's the power the flash is shooting at to give you a TTL exposure. If I want to now transfer that, just hold it down and it transfers it up live into the channel A, into the head. So now we are locked on the predetermined TTL worked out exposure in a manual setting. And now for consistency, I could, as long as I don't change my lighting, continue to shoot and have perfect exposure when bringing it into my program. Okay, so here we are, we're going to demonstrate the Bluetooth functionality. This is a feature that Jinbei have actually had for quite a while. They were one of the first companies to actually offer a Bluetooth app. I'm on Android at the moment. You can go to the Jinbei site and get the link to download the app. So this is the Jinbei app. So once you're in the Bluetooth settings of your phone, you scan for a new device, look down to available devices and find it and pair. With this particular device, it's 6 zeros. And now we are paired. You don't need to do that again. It'll set up automatically next time you turn it on. So now coming out of there, we go into our app and we're live. Okay, we're in the app and you'll see the Bluetooth symbol is now green, so it's connected to my phone. Within the app, on the main menu, you'll see studios. You can add studios, but for now we'll just start with the Studio 1. So we're going to set this up. We've got a trigger talking to group A on channel 1. So all these items are linked Bluetooth to the trigger, wireless to the head. If I choose group A, I can come in there and we are within manual. I can change to TTL, I can change back to manual. And within manual, I can just wind it down to single power or right up to full power. It virtually happens instantly, or any power in between. If I put it on TTL, I can also increase or decrease the over or under exposure within TTL. I can test it, I can fire it from the app, I can turn my modeling light on and off. I can change my sync from front curtain to rear curtain to high speed sync on the fly. And I can put the whole thing to sleep. There is also a second menu, so I can turn off the audible sound, and I can also program in a delayed firing the flash, or an easy capture, which is another mode we'll talk about at another time. Back to here, we go back to the main menu. We can add a channel B, we can add a channel C, D, E, and F. So I can control up to 6 different heads or 6 different groups of heads within the system. If I come back out, so that will now be remembered for the way I've set it up. So I may have all these heads on different manual powers for a certain type of shot that I do, maybe for portraiture, maybe for product shooting. But if I want, I come back out and I can add another studio or another studio or another studio. And say Studio 2 could be my portrait shoot, and I can set it up to be customized. If I've got multiple people using the studio, I can tell them to use Studio 2 and it will be automatically set up for them at a certain level of either TTL or manual control. So very, very powerful app. It's a free download and really supercharges the whole system. So one of the final features we're going to show you about the TR-Q7 is the native RT control. So Canon's wireless control system is called RT, radio trigger. And in here we have Olympus, Lumix, Canon, Nikon, Sony, Fuji, RT. So we're now natively shooting in the Canon system. So you'll see when I've gone to RT that the link has automatically come up here. So it's automatically linked to that Canon flash. We're not talking about a Jinbei flash, that's a Canon branded flash. So now we can control this. We've got the Canon flash on B, and we've got on channel B, and we've got the Jinbei flash on group A. So if I come to group A, I can change it to sleep, I can change it to TTL or manual, and vice versa, I can change the Canon flash on B from manual to TTL, and I can also put it to sleep. So I can independently now control any number of Canon speed lights mixed in with my Jinbei flashes, and or with the new Jinbei speedlight coming, I can mix Jinbei flashes in with my Canon flashes and control it all from the Jinbei trigger. Okay, just one thing to note, when you're using the Jinbei in Canon RT mode, you go to menu 2 and you hit ID. At the moment we've got channel and group. We hold down ID and we bring up the ID functionality, and the RT is now turned on. So this is now a Canon controlled flash, to the point now where we can actually forsake the Jinbei trigger and bring in a Canon STE3 wireless trigger that is designed for their system, but now will talk natively with the Jinbei. Jinbei is the only manufacturer that will allow you to work outside of its wireless system and work natively with a camera system. A point to make in using this system from the Jinbei trigger in RT mode is all of the Canon speed lights need to be in slave mode.